Good evening, everybody. It's your boy Stoney coming to you live from the TCM Museum of Minnesota. It's Friday night, so you know it's a new episode of the Space Corps podcast. Get on in here, share the feed, tell your friends, of course, subscribe to all the channels and all that type of garbage. You know, the whole spiel. This show is not made possible without the help of the lovely sponsors, of course, the TCM Fan Club, tcmfanclub.com. That is our co-producer, Brett Gill, Mr. Gilly. God, he put his heart, sweat, tears into everything to make this website possible. It's completely free for everybody, but it is like the end-all, be-all website for any kind of chainsaw fan, including an awesome old-school fan forum, which is reminiscent of the old message board days that kind of predate the real MySpace and Facebooks that we're all on nowadays. So check it out. Show them some love. Again, completely free. You don't have to do nothing. Just go check it out. And, of course, if you like the show and you want to support us, we got the merch page that's open. You can go to shop.spacecorpspodcast.com. You get some podcast t-shirts, Stoney's TCM stuff. You can even join the Space Cadet Army. Any little bit of sales go right back into the show. Better microphones, better production, all that type of stuff. You know the spiel. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we come to you with an amazing guest every week. And this is one of the ones that I'm really excited about because we are broadening outside of the usual TCM, and we are going back to my one true real love, the 1978 Halloween movie. And of course, tonight we have Judith Myers, that is played by Miss Sandy Johnson. Good evening, Sandy. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited that you are on. I'm so glad that Gilly knows you. You've met Brett before. I think maybe he even had you on a podcast some time ago. Maybe is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Oh, well, I really appreciate it. We were kind of saying before this, we got a lot of fans. You know, I mean, it's, you know, we might have preference on to kind of what your horror movie is, but God, I mean, it's, you are part of, like, I will say, and it's the most iconic horror franchise in all of them. The TCM comes close, but my God, I mean, so it's an absolute honor for one, because you know, you not only were in the original film, but you were the first kill of Michael Myers, being of his sister, and I don't know. I mean, it's kind of an odd thing to say. It's like, how do you feel about, you know, that? But I mean, that's, you know, you were the first of such a franchise that's still going on to this day. I mean, what do you think about that now?
Well, you know, the other thing is I was the only person killed by the young Michael.
That's true.
His adult has a lot of victims, but I was the only one lucky enough to be killed by the young Michael. But, you know, I consider an honor. I think Halloween is truly one of the greatest horror films, and John Carpenter is amazing. So I'm very honored that I was the one that he chose to portray Judith Myers. And now, of course, back then it just the first movie, low budget. It wasn't big of a deal. When I see this happen for years around the world, it's an amazing that I got selected. I'm very happy about that.
It's so awesome. Now, when that happened, was that something that you auditioned for, or were you contacted for this position, for this role?
I was with the Playboy agency because I was in Playboy in 74. So he reached out to the Playboy agency to interview some ladies, and I was one of the ones that was called in for an interview. So yes, I did interview.
Wow. So, I mean, obviously it's so funny how just life can kind of, you know, unfold like that. I mean, that's, you know, you obviously you went and you did Playboy for not for the idea of, well, maybe this might land me in, you know, a movie role, let alone, you know, like a horror genre like that. I mean, what were you very interested right off the bat, or were you kinda like, "Oh, that's weird. Maybe I'll think about it," or were you pretty quick to jump into it?
I actually loved horror movies from when I was little. My dad was a very conservative dad, but he loved horror movies. So I was lucky that he would take me even when I was young. So I got hooked on when I was young. So the idea of being one was actually really cool to me.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I, what were some of the movies then, like, growing up watching with him that were such, like, a memorable part that really solidified the love for that genre to you?
Well, I'll tell you the first two, the one that had biggest, well, they had packs in different ways. Blob, he took
Mm,
me to see at a drive theater in Oklahoma, and it was pouring rain and hailing, and we were at the drive-in. And
really?
I was probably 8, and I was in the back seat, and they had those cracks where the little speaker came in,
Yeah.
and it was plenty big enough for the blob to come through. So I don't remember much about the blob, but I remember watching the crack. So that was one of my first memories, was terrified of the blob. Then he took me to see, when I was probably 11 or so, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which pretty much warped my mind. I will never see it again. Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. Oh my God, such a horrifying psychological thriller that I'm not sure I ever got over. I would not watch it again, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So it was kind of those two, and then as time went by, I think The Shining and some others, or maybe it was Psycho. Yeah, I think it was Psycho, because he died when I was early 20s. So I think we did get to Psycho though.
Wow. I the drive-through movie experience, compared to I mean, seeing movies in theaters are great, but, there's such a different element where when you're in a theater, you're, in a nice confined area, that there's, people have been admitted in, and things like that. But then also to be outside in the dark watching those is, it's such an extra fun element to it.
Yeah, it definitely made it scarier that night.
One thing that I seen that people have put on is they've done like an outdoor, those like inflatable big movie screens. And they did this at like a camp at a lake, and they showed Jaws while all of the people watching were in a lake floating on inner tubes. Your legs dangling in the water when it's dark out. I mean, could you? I mean, talk about taking it to a whole nother level. I don't know if I could do that. That'd be so. It'd be fun. I'd do it. I know I would.
I saw Jaws, when it first came out on the big screen, but the day after that, I was leaving to go to Hawaii.
Oh, really?
Terrible timing. After seeing Jaws, every time I would get in the water, I kept hearing that freaking theme song, that music,
Uh,
dun dun, dun, and I would have to get back out of the water.
oh my
Terrible
god.
timing.
It's like I just feel like, nowadays with just the access of like the CGIs and all that type of stuff that it kind of like puts in our mind like even more that it's not real, versus like the older horror movies like, there was just that scary element that it was like, I don't know, I feel like it was just so much more, you know, it hits you in the heartstrings that, oh my god, this is gonna happen. Like I can't sleep tonight because I'm gonna, they're gonna get me type of thing.
Yep, absolutely.
I remember when I was young, one of the first horror movies that I saw was the Child's Play movies with Chucky, and I saw them with my older neighbors down the road that were they were much older than me, and they were kind of my babysitters at the time. They said, "You can watch this," and we watched the first two back to back, and I just terrified, but being a little guy, I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not scared." And then going to bed that night, I remember we had a little old Fisher Price toy chest in our closet with all of our toys and things. Me and my brother in a bunk bed, and it was like lights out, and then all of a sudden I heard noise in that toy chest, and I freaked out and, like call my mother and, and she looked, there's nothing, you're fine. And then she finally like, you watched what, and then come to find out we had like a mouse in the house and it was in that toy chest. So like when
Oh,
she left again, it was making noise and, finally we found that out. But oh my God, I just, that will stick with me for the rest of my life. So we've got some people in the chat. So we have Eric Crimmins, who is one of our most well-distinguished online horror auctioneers. He is a Southern gentleman. He is one of my really good friends, and he was excited to hear that you're on. And he says, wow, Sandy, always a sweetheart to the fans and just a Halloween legend. So Eric, thanks for stopping in, buddy.
yeah, thanks for stopping in.
And then we have Madness in the chat, and he says, the first time I seen Texas Chainsaw in 75 with Jaws as a first feature at a drive-in, I walked away never the same. See, I think, I know there's still some drive-ins out there, but I highly encourage anybody, if you've never been to one of those, go see some flicks, in the evening time. I mean, it's such a different experience. It's so much fun.
During COVID, I did a signing at the Mahone Drive-In, I think what Pennsylvania. And it's like the oldest running drive-in that shows the reel to reel, the original films.
Yeah.
And they had Halloween on the original film. And I got to go into the back to the projection room and watch this guy change the reels between and all that stuff. I guess there aren't very many people left on the planet who can actually do that.
Sure.
And so I got to watch him do that with Halloween and also look out the little round window so I could see my scene on the drive-in from the projection room. It was so cool.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, when you were
really
in the film, seeing as the first scene, did they shoot it? I mean, were you in the very first part of the production and the shooting of it, or did that, like, how long were you out there for, and all that type of stuff? Was it just like a couple of days and your part was done?
I was there one full day, and it was actually one of the last scenes shot.
Really?
Because the house was very dilapidated when they rented it. And so they used all of the later scenes when the house is all run down. They shot all of that first.
Okay.
And then when they finished all of that, they kind of fixed it up, buffed it up a bit so it would look lived in. And then that's when they shot my scene.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I always find it so kind of fascinating on how, just the production of a movie can go where, I mean, they just jump around from, different parts of the, of the whole storyline, and just for actors and actresses, just, trying to remember kind of where you're at throughout there. I mean, obviously that's the name of the game and the job. But to me, I just think, I'd be like, wait a minute, where am I at again? I mean, obviously, thank God for scripts where you can keep it up. But yeah, just sometimes when you see like the last things happen first, and that's really cool. So we've got Mr. Gilly's in the chat, Mr. Brett Gill. He says that's absolutely amazing. So glad he's hopping on too to check this out. So movie happened in the 70s, came out, and then we have, quite a bit of time before all of a sudden conventions and things, were becoming such a hit. When did you first kind of catch wind that that was a thing? And, when did you first start attending these?
It actually wasn't until 2018 when I remember, because the Halloween 2018 was about to be released, when I got contacted by current agent, and he actually reached out to me through Facebook chat, and he asked if I was the Sandy Johnson from Halloween. Yeah. And I said, such a random question. I mean, I had thought about Halloween, 4 years. I was been a teacher, and I just, my whole world was, like on a different planet from that. And I said, yes, and who's this? And that's when he said, I am Rick and Reek, and I've been looking for you for about 8 years. And wow. So he started to tell me about what had happened to Halloween franchise, how I had international fans, and it was like, oh my God, he opened my world.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what kind of like a, just taken back feeling you've got to be like, really? Like, like so take me to the first convention then that you did. Like how was that? I mean, did all of a sudden were you just shocked by just lines of fans everywhere and the volume of attendance and stuff like that?
Yes, I had never really even heard of horror convention when he reached out to me.
Sure.
He said, "You like to do signs at a horror convention?" I had no idea what he was talking about. So he started explaining it to me, and I thought, well, that might be fun. And so really did not know what to expect. He ordered the pictures and the banner, everything, and my husband and I showed up. And he just put me at the table and he said, all I have to do is just visit with the fans and, sign the autographs. And oh my gosh, they opened the doors and I like had a humongous line. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, all these people here to see. So it was crazy. They were so nice. I mean, it was wonderful. I had the best time. They came from all over the world,
Yeah.
literally. And it was really one of the most amazing days of my life, actually,
Oh,
because I had no idea
sure.
that I had fans, or certainly not from all over the world.
Yeah.
And so whenever it was done, he said to me, sometimes I find people and I ask to do this. And after the first one, they say, "No, not really my thing." He says, "So what do you think?" And I said, "Hell yeah, sign me up." I had a blast.
God, that's so cool.
So
I
yeah, I've been
I
doing them since 2018.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'm glad you like it because it just, I mean, just, just being a fan of everything too. I mean, it's such a fun experience to, really connect with the people that, something that you really watch. I mean, it's just, like getting to meet a musician or something from a favorite band that you love. It's just it's what an experience because, I mean, that just if it's not for a convention, that kind of a format, I mean, the chances of running into you, I mean, is like so, I mean, this is not going to happen really for the majority of people. So it's like, you can see why people, will fly in for it, and that's so wild. I mean, some of the people I've talked to too, it's just like they're just like, "Excuse me, like you flew from the UK to come here," and it's incredible. It's such a feeling.
Yeah, it's great. Fans are amazing. I have met so many friends. I have a lot of friends that show up at a lot of shows and they're in my personal life now because they're just wonderful people and I'm so blessed to have found them, through the Halloween community and stuff. It's just I'm very blessed. So many nice people
Yeah,
have entered my life because of this.
absolutely. Um, Eric asks, "How was it working with John Carpenter at the beginning of his amazing career?"
Uh, it was great. He was pretty serious, but he was nice, and he was very good at describing, what the feel he did, kind of the feel of the scene, and him and Deb Hill would kind of do a little walkthrough for staging and stuff, and yeah, it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Sure. Now, have you gotten to rekindle any kind of relationships with him during these conventions, like for like the Halloween 40 or anything like that? Have you, talked to him recently or?
I did. I think it's been about 3 years now. He was in the same room with me at Steel City Con, and we were the only two in the room. So we got a chance to visit there, and then we had a panel. It was the two of us, so that's crazy.
Oh,
But
wow.
it actually turned out to be a good panel. I thought nobody is asked me a question, but actually they did. And he was so nice to refer to. He'd say, "Well, what do you think about that, Sandy?" He was very nice.
That's so cool. He really does just come off as like, he's a nice guy, that means Especially for, being such successful people like that, I mean, it's reasonable to understand why some people don't, they get a little too big for their britches or they don't want to, deal with stuff like that. But, everybody that I've ever talked to that's gotten to meet him, it really does seem like he's very genuine and appreciative of, everybody that just, respects and follows his art and, his career. I mean, it's amazing to see him still active and out, doing everything too. Cause I mean, once you've made your money and you've made your things like that, I mean, sometimes you just might want to just be left alone. But again, it's just that love for the fandom and just kind of giving back to everybody. It's amazing. I think it's a really special
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I love that he's doing cons again because I know a lot of the fans were super excited whenever he's coming, near them and stuff. So I think that's great that they're getting a chance to visit with him.
Right. Exactly. And now with these conventions, we know, I mean, some people can, get dressed up pretty crazy. Some certain props that they bring in are just wild. I mean, have you seen some, some pretty peculiar things that they've, had you come in and sign? Has somebody brought in a tombstone or, anything like that for you yet?
Oh yeah, I've signed a lot of tombstones.
Uh,
I've signed a lot of handmade Myers houses. I have autographed the before the whole station wagon was at a show. They brought me the glove compartment to sign.
oh, that's
And then
cool.
when they actually had the station wagon in Chicago, I was there. So then they had me in several places,
Oh, that's
but my
sweet.
signature was already in the glove compartment.
That is so cool.
So yeah, they bring all
Oh,
kinds of things.
well, and as collectors
I
too, it's
signed a
like,
lady's leg.
really?
Yeah, and then she went next door and had it tattooed.
Oh, yes. Perfect. It's it's interesting because that's I mean it's great to get autographs, but sometimes we look for, well, what's a little different than just like the 8x10 photo or a DVD or a mask or something like that. So it's really fun to see people coming up with some really really cool creative things that just it's, as a collector, it's fun to have something that makes your collection unique compared to others and things like that. So yeah, the the glove compartment, I think that is absolutely excellent.
It was pretty funny.
Oh, do you have any more that are coming up that you're right now a part of, or is there anything in the works so we should let everybody know where they can come out and see you?
I have one, but it hasn't announced yet,
Okay, yeah,
so I
fair enough.
can't give it away.
Fair
I've
enough.
mostly been doing movies. I've been
Okay.
doing tons of movies. So that's when I first started doing conventions, some of the fans were asking me, did I want to get back to the movies? And I hadn't really thought about it because my career had been cut really short by the loss of my parents.
Oh,
And so I hadn't really thought about it, but I started thinking about it and I thought, I'm not dead yet. So why not?
why
So I
not?
kind of put it out there that I would love to be in some indie films. And so my wish was granted. I think I've been in about 13 of them now.
Oh, wow.
And only a couple have been released, but I think 3 or 4 trailers have come out in the last few weeks. So we're getting close.
Oh, that's excellent. So that many, like, since basically kind of 2018 and on?
Yes.
Wow, you've been
Yes.
busy
And I have
then.
more lined up. I'm not done yet.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
I have two
Madness
or
is in the
three
chat.
coming up.
Is Madness is asking that if they asked you to be in the next Halloween movie, would you be in it? I think we know the answer there.
Of course I would.
Um, yeah, I mean, just that whole trilogy that they just did recently, and for them to have Jamie Lee come back into it, was like it was very exciting, and it was a good dynamic and a good plot for that. Did you get to, did you talk with her much? Did you kind of become friends on set, or were you even, around each other during that time of filming?
Not so much. She was there. She was there the day I was filming, and she
Sure.
did have some with my scene, like in the trailer and stuff, trying to help get the blood off of me and stuff for the second take.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was only for one day, so I really didn't see her again
Sure.
until the premiere for 2018, where they reused my footage. So I was invited to the premiere, and I did see her briefly there.
Okay. God, it's just it's so amazing just, when you look back at what this movie really is and just, the people and just the everything about it. I mean, it's just God, I couldn't imagine how I would feel if I was a part of something so, cinematically iconic and things like that. It's so wild. When's like how often or like did you like to watch them? I mean, like you said, you got to watch it when he put together that the film that certain way, but is it kind of weird watching yourself on film, and that type of thing? Or is it just like how do you feel if like somebody were to put it on right now? Would it just be like a fond memory now, basically?
Um, yeah, it's fun, Mary, and when I look at it, I think it makes people happy.
Mhm.
Uh, so I know that a lot of Halloween fans on the world are always watching it. So I know I'm happy to watch it. And for a lot of them, it turns out who had difficulties in life and stuff, films like Halloween calmed them, was interesting.
Sure.
But I lots of stories they've told me. So when I kind of think, kind of makes me smile because I think about the people that it made happy and still does.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other parts too with these conventions, just like hearing the stories on how impactful that is to other people, and oh, it helped me through times and this, and it's really special, and then it's also an interesting thing too. Just we've this kind of been a common topic, but it seems to be a good observation is that the fans of horror movies that frequent these, everybody's very nice people. It's like it's such a you know I like to think of it, it's such a balance of like, like a really happy person, but yet they listen to maybe some heavy music, or they like kind of like slasher films. And, I think there's something about it. I just think there's like a little yin and yang type of, aspect to it.
Yeah, there's something definitely different about it for sure. Because I went to that for convention, I really had no idea what the fan would be like. I don't know what are people like that watch all these horror movies and stuff. And I was just so amazed at what wonderful, warm, friendly people they were. It was
Yeah.
like, wow, where have you guys my whole life?
Right. Absolutely. I
Yeah,
up
it's
here.
such a community.
It is, and luckily in Minneapolis we have one good horror convention each year, this Crypticon, and it's a really interesting kind of a venue. It's in a hotel space, so there's all these different convention rooms and things like that, and but it's such a personal feel, where it's you go into each room and it might be only six booths or six people set up there, so you get to have this nice, really good one-on-one, conversations instead of, these big monster conventions where there's just, you wait in line 7 hours to meet somebody and, you can only talk to them for a few minutes because, there's people waiting in line and, it's just, it's so much fun to see it like that. But, I mean, it's just like, even though the theme of it all is, it's gory and this type of stuff, but you can bring your kids to it. It's like, I bring my daughter. She's 11. We've been going for 6 or 7 years, and it's something we really look forward to. And there's not a concern about safety or anything like that, which is so nice.
Yeah, no, I love kids. And I love it when the whole family comes. It's actually one of my favorite parts. The kids
Yeah,
just precious.
Absolutely. Have you happened to seen online there's the Michael Myers of Decanter, where it's this guy in a Michael Myers thing, but then his kid dresses up in a little Michael Myers outfit and they're like out in their cul-de-sac. He's playing the keyboards to like the theme song and they're dancing and the wife's all embarrassed and they become quite the internet hit and they do a lot of videos, but it's just the little one
Oh, I'll have to look
oh,
that up.
it's so cute. I'll have to send you a link to it. It's really funny. And yeah,
Yeah, you should. I'd like that.
yeah, they hit it big, on one video. So of course there's, they try to replicate it 100 times over and, ride that fame wave. But oh, it's so funny. And, yeah, just, I don't know, just seeing the little ones in there. When my daughter, the first year we went, at the convention, they have all these other side, contests and costume contests, but then they did one for the kids and she dressed up like Sam from Trick or Treat, so she had the burlap head and the orange jumpsuit and the lollipop. And it was so much fun to see her on there, and she got, like, I think 2nd or 3rd place, and she was over the moon about it, she just, you know I don't know, to me, it just I could put myself in
Nice,
her shoes, and you just, like, what an accepting feeling into that kind of, culture and community. So, so nice.
right?
So she's hooked for life, I bet.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
yeah. Yeah, it's fun when you find someone who, or I talk to someone who's never been to a convention and they're worried about being alone and stuff. I'm like, don't worry about it. You won't be alone. Just put the word out that you're going to be there and you're looking for people to hang out with and stuff,
Yeah,
and you'll have more than enough nice people to hang out with.
absolutely. And even just going alone at some of those things, I mean, the idea too, it's such a fun thing because there's such a mix of vendors and artists and, I mean, shopping, aspects of it too. And it's just God, it's just what a great time because and then you get to know some of these people and the vendors and it's like a once a year, it's like a reunion type of an aspect too, and that's so much fun. So it's like we feel so fortunate that I've got something like that in my area because they don't there's not these conventions in every single town everywhere. So there's a lot of people that can't make it out to these, and that's why like podcasts like this are really important to people too because we get this one-on-one time and get to chat and share some stories and again it means a lot to a lot of other people too, so
Right. That's actually why I originally did a website, was because there were fans that would reach out to me on Facebook and said, well, I never, I, for whatever reason, lots of reasons, can't go.
yeah.
And, I wish I'd get a signed autograph or send you something. So that's why I actually set up my website so that they could do those things even if they
Oh,
couldn't
cool.
go to the convention. They could I could sign some and hold it up, do a selfie for 'em,
Yeah.
different things. Yeah, so, and it made a lot of people happy, and I still do a lot of things sent for people that, can't go.
Sure. Well, that's really nice, and like, Cameo for, people, you can connect with people like you, and all of a sudden you do a little video, hey, happy birthday or something. I mean, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. The internet's a crazy place and there's a lot of weird stuff and there's, whatever, but at the core of it, I mean, just to be able to connect with people and, and I mean, my God, it's so cool. So I embrace that side of it, I just try to I turn my blind eye to the negative, gross aspect of it, but it's hey, we're able to connect with humans, and all of a sudden shoot you a message, and here we are. It's pretty cool. Oh well, I'm really excited to hear about kind of what some of the new projects you've been working on there. So for everybody that's watching, of course, make sure we're following you on your social medias there, because as soon as it's time to release that, we're very excited about it. Um, so
Right? It's
kind of after your acting career and things like that, is that did you miss doing that, for a while, and then, just kind of was something you would, put as like, oh, that's just kind of a part of my past, and then obviously the 2018 came around and it was different like that. But did you ever, have kind of ideas or any kind of, situations where maybe you might have, done something?
Well, when what I did when I came back to Texas after I lost parents was I went to school and I went all the way to got a PhD and I taught special needs kids.
Oh, really?
And that was, yeah, I taught science so long. I did a lot of big lessons, like hands-on lessons, and we go outside, we would build and shoot rockets and stuff. So I think a lot of that was kind of drama because I reached the kids was by making my classes big and it's not just, book and simple things. So I
Yeah.
think making my classes kind of dramatic was make my look fat and it worked very well. I had a
Sure.
lot of happy science kids.
Yeah.
Then, over time, I taught for a lot of years. And I was a director of education and I taught college, all these different things.
Wow.
And yeah, and I just came the full circle and Rick reached out again, just it kind of flipped a switch. I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go back and start.
Oh, that's so much fun. Oh, wow. So yeah, just you know, the convention side of it all, I hope it never goes away. They talk about, well, it kind of was like a boom over these last, 10 years, but I don't ever see it going away. I think it's just such a great way for everybody to connect. And, I think nowadays you just start to see like a lot of people seem to be kind of introverted and, there's not, people aren't just out and about hanging out as much anymore. It's like everything's kind of behind a screen and stuff. So, as long as you've got kind of these, formats and spaces where, people at least, okay, I'm gonna come on and do that. I think it's nothing but just good for everybody. And you know, again, as the collector side, it's just fun to be able to come out and add something, onto the wall and have another new piece and a good story to go with it. That's always just it's meaningful to me when I look around in my collection here and I can just kind of look at certain pieces and I go, that I could tell a whole, story about, and this is how I got it, or this is a friend I bought it from, or I don't know. It just makes it so much more personal, I think, for people. But
Right. Yeah, there's not a whole lot left. As you mentioned that where a lot of people do go and get together in real life, not
mhm.
just online or whatever. And I love that because I think a lot of people that go there are kind of introverted in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
but go there and everybody just kind of welcomes in, and then we end up in this close community, and the people become great friends and look forward to the next event to see all their friends again.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good thing. I hope it doesn't go away.
No, absolutely. And again, I keep plugging just because I love, my one I go to, but it's a lot smaller, than the usual conventions. But the fact that it's held in a hotel area there, you can actually get a hotel room while you stay there for the whole weekend. But at the site, they have outside and like kind of the back patio area, they've got all these different like fire pit, areas and things like that. So after the convention ends for the day, if you're staying there and it's kind of a good party at the nighttime, but all of a sudden, the celebrities come out there too, and they're, because they're staying in the hotel, and all of a sudden you're able to, sit and have a fireside chat with some. I mean, God, it's just, or you're running into somebody in the elevator, and even that
Right.
to me is just like, I mean, I think that's just an even more special memory than just walking up at a booth for a second and saying, hey, thanks. But yeah, it's just like you never know who
Right.
might come out, so.
Yeah, it's fun for me because a lot of times when I go to convention, Jay there or Nick or some other people that I become good friends with, it's like a reunion for us. Makes it really special because they're super nice people.
Yeah,
So it's really fun. And of course we all sit together. So to visit a lot, and it's a lot of fun.
that's amazing. Well, again, I'm so grateful that this is, something that you find value and love in, and you're interacting with it, because it's like I say, it's just so meaningful. I feel like I'm being a broken record on that, but I just, I can't thank, you, the horror celebrities out there. It's just like, we hope we keep you coming back. So well, hopefully one day maybe you might get the offer to come on up to the Crypticon in Minneapolis. It'd be great to meet you in person and shake hands with you. So maybe they might
Yeah,
reach
wouldn't
out.
that?
I
Now
don't
they
know.
might. You never know.
Well, and the thing is that they do it in September, so I always go, you're kind of dabbling close to the, our winters get a little chilly, and sometimes it comes early, and some, especially a lot of the Texas people, I don't, it's a whole different world when you get up here and it's like that.
Well, I have a big cotton boots.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, Sandy, it's been really good talking with you. And if you've ever like to come on back, when you got something that you might want to be able to disclose with us and chat about, I'd love to have you back. But I really appreciate your time, and um, if anybody wanted to follow what you're doing, is there anywhere outside of Instagram and Facebook? Can your website? Where do we find that at?
That is Unicorn Sandy J at, wait a minute, unicornsandyj.com. I think that's
Excellent. We'll
unicorn.com.
make sure we'll put the link up to your website too in the YouTube video once we post this up, so everybody can find you and coordinate an autograph, or some kind of communication with you would be great. Otherwise, like I said, everybody, you can find her on Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, I just thank you for everything that you did, and I appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Cool. Well, hope y'all watch my movies that are coming out. I can do the
Absolutely.
names, the ones that are coming.
They're coming.
Black Sheep.
Black Sheep. All right. We'll make sure we're going to share that on the YouTube and the Facebook page and all that stuff
Yeah.
too. And it's always fun to promote, everybody that comes onto the show.
Yeah, there's several. A lot of them are, probably all of them, or most of them are lit on my website under the movies and upcoming movies stuff. But A Soldier's Descent is going to be a good one.
Okay.
And The Executioner, going to be a good one.
All right.
The Doll of Deceit. And Occult Canvas, interesting one.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a bunch coming out. 5 Farmhouse Murders. Yeah, I've been busy.
You really have. Well, I hope that doesn't stop. I hope it's just nonstop, because for everybody to be able to see you back on the screen again, we're excited no matter what it's going to be.
Cool. Thanks.
Right.
I appreciate it.
All right, Sandy. Have a great evening. Thanks again so much. And thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you all next week. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
See you.
In the vast expanse where the cosmos sighs, drifts an ancient tale as old as the skies. A figure from stories now mythified, Space Corpse goes orbiting by. He once roamed planets, both far and wide, but now he floats where the starships fly. No more breath in his chest, yet can't be denied the space cadet who died. Oh, oh, Space Corpse, in the void you glide, a spectral waltz in the galaxy's tide, floating free like a cosmic guide. Space Corpse goes orbiting by. Galaxies turn while he haunts with pride, No anchor to worlds, just space to bide. Gliding through stardust, no need to hide. This wanderer who never cried. In weightless silence where time collides, he drifts in dreams so amplified. Mysterious tales on mystic rides. Space Corps haunt so dignified. Oh, oh, Space Corps, in the void you glide. A spectral waltz in the galaxy's tide, floating free like a cosmic guide. Space Corps goes orbiting by. Galaxies turn while he haunts with pride. A spectral waltz in the galaxy's tide, floating free like a cosmic guide. Space Corps goes orbiting by.